Our headlines for tonight: PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, denounces acting Davao Mayor Duterte's statement over West Philippine Sea, noting that Beijing's had violations.
Malacanang Palace does not consider the abolishment of the Department of Public Works and Highways amid anomalies.
Senator Joel Villanueva claims being set up after being tagged in the flood control scandal.
New Quezon City Jail prepares detainment cells for flood control indictments.
And Golden Boy Carlos Yulo will skip the SEA Games 2025. Good evening, bringing you the latest news for tonight. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO.
And I am KRIZZA Lopez. This is Eurotv News. Thread the details on our broadcast. Davao City Acting Mayor Baste Duterte claims that the current administration were orchestrated by the United States on its position in the West Philippine Sea.
But PCG spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, denounces these claims of former presidential son, noting that Beijing continues to violate international law. Here's the report. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippine Sea, Commodore J. Tariela, denounces acting Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte's statement regarding the Philippines' position in the West Philippine Sea. Duterte said in the video that was his father, former Philippine President Duterte, is promoting an independent foreign policy.
Both countries want control over this territory. We want an independent foreign policy.
Duterte also said that the position of the administration of President Marcos in the West Philippine Sea was mandated by the United States, comparing the previous administration's dependence on China.
Once and for all, bago kayo magsalita, this is not about me being pro-China, but I'm leaning towards economic cooperations rather than military practices. Sinasabi ko, it's not about, us against China, because China will always be there and the United States will always be there. Sila yung nag-aaway.
However, Tariela defended, saying that Beijing is clearly violating international laws when it comes to the Philippine waters, and insisted that the current administration was not orchestrated by Washington. According to Tariela, the decision of the Marcos administration was not manipulated by other countries, but based on diplomatic protests and multilateral advocacy. Based on the recent survey by Pulse Asia, more than 90% of Filipinos believe that the government should defend Philippine sovereignty against China. Meanwhile, various organizations inaugurated a mural wall at the Manila North Cemetery titled Fight for Our West Philippine Sea. This was led by Herbert Antonio Martinez, the chairman and founder of Blessed Movement, together with National Youth Commission Chairperson Jeff Ortega, under the Manamo Wall Project. Also joining in is Filipinos Do Not Yield Movement Chairman Emeritus Dr. Jose Antonio Guisha, who said they will continue to condemn China's harassment of the Philippine ships in the West Philippine Sea. The mural intends to show the nationalism and unity of Filipino youth in defending the country's rights and sovereignty. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News. Amidst the corruption case surrounding the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Palace reiterated it would not abolish the agency but would instead reshuffle its set of officials. Mia Layagin has more.
Amidst the flood control scandal issue, the Department of Public Works and Highways took extra lengths in investigation and in cleaning the agency, given that most of the anomalies were tied with the department. DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon himself is convinced that there was a collusion between contractors, proponents, and some officials of the agency to secure kickbacks from infrastructure project fundings. With the hopes of repolishing the agency inked with corruption, various officials were replaced from the secretary, undersecretaries, and other officials who shall then lead the investigation, while others who were tied with the anomalies have already been charged. However, for Senator Win Gatchalian, while he expressed confidence to Dizon's capabilities as a secretary, he says he is not convinced the TPWH can be cleaned within just a few months. Gatchalian says that if it will take years to finally clean DPWH from anomalies and corruption links, then it will be better to just abolish the agency.
DPWH.
Kung ako tatanungin,
Oo.
magtayo na lang ng bagong DPWH eh. Kumuha ng bagong tao dahil
Lahat palitan.
parang ako kasi naniniwala kung hindi mo ang aking philosophy sa management. Dadating ka kasi sa punto na kung hindi mo maayos yan, gumawa ka na lang ng bago. Kasi kanina, napansin ko, buong Pilipinas eh. Diba? Hindi lang limited to Bulacan, buong Pilipinas. So, ibig sabihin, buong Pilipinas may corrupt DPWH officials. So, how do you clean that up?
Malacanang responded to this matter on Monday, saying that the abolishment of DPWH is not among the cards in the table right now. Palace Press Officer Undersecretary Attorney Claire Castro said that instead of abolishment, the administration is currently focused on removing all corrupt officials of the agency.
Ang departamento, hindi po lahat ng mga nangangasiwa at hindi po lahat ng mga taong gobyerno sa DPWH ay masasabi nating gumawa ng kamalian. May mga public servants pa rin po at public officials na masasabi natin tumutugon sa kanilang mga obligasyon.
Castro also expressed confidence over Dizon's leadership that anomaly-tied individuals or officials will be identified and removed from DPWH as soon as possible. This is Mila Yagin for Eurotv News.
Meanwhile, Senator Joel Villanueva stands firm about his non-involvement in the flood control scandal. During his church anniversary, he claimed he was being set up and dragged into the issue despite being one of the first senators to raise concerns about flood control projects in Bulacan. Here's my report.
Senator Joel Villanueva has denied allegation linking him to the flood control project corruption scandal, insisting that he was set up amid the ongoing investigation. During the 47th anniversary celebration of the Jesus is Lord or GIL religious group, Villanueva spoke about challenges he has faced throughout his career as a lawmaker.
Hindi po ba ito set up, mga magulang at kapatid? Sa mga kinaaway at nilabanan natin sa mga nakaraang panahon, lalo na sa sindikato ng flood control, meron kayang nagagalit at pilit ginugulo ang storya, ang totoong pangyayari.
In his presentation, the senator highlighted his long-standing opposition to questionable flood control projects in Bulacan, saying he was one of the first to raise concerns about the issue years before it became a national controversy.
Tapos, sasabihin, aba, easy target dyan si Joel. Si Joel Villanueva ang ituro natin. Hindi po ba set up ito? Hindi rin po ba set up na sabihin, basta Bulacan kay Joel yan?
He further explained that his movement in investigating the projects began as early as 2023 and that his inclusion in the corruption list was a clear attempt to discredit him.
Kakabulol-bulol na, nagtuturuan na. Sabi po, nag-deliver daw ng salapi nung una sa school. Aba, binago, sabi sa church. Sabi ko, kung sa church, pati si Satanas hindi papayag sa script nyo. Tatanggap ka ng suhol sa simbahan.
According to reports, DPWH engineer Henry Alcantara and engineer Bryce Hernandez tagged Villanueva as among the lawmakers who allegedly received kickbacks from the flood control project funds. Based on Hernandez's testimony, Villanueva and Senator Jinggoy Estrada allegedly received 30% commissions in exchange for facilitating the release of project funding in Bulacan. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
Aiming to expedite the process of filing criminal cases against officials involved in the flood control scheme, the Sandigan Bayan is drafting new rules which will undergo pilot testing once the Supreme Court approves them. More from this report.
The Sandigan Bayan is set to expedite the filing and resolution of cases involving government officials linked to the anomalous flood control projects through the implementation of a new judicial directive. According to Sandigan Presiding Judge Geraldine Ekong, the court is currently drafting the new order aimed at streamlining and accelerating case proceedings. She added that the directive will undergo pilot testing once approved by the Supreme Court. Ekong emphasized that this initiative is in preparation for the cases to be filed by the Office of the Ombudsman against those implicated in the corruption scandal involving flood control projects. It may be recalled that Ombudsman Jesus Crispin Remulla earlier announced plans to file the cases before the Sandigan Bayan next month. Last September 15, the Office of the Ombudsman received formal complaints from the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH against several officials from Bulacan's 1st District Engineering Office, including Engineer Henry Alcantara, Engineer Bryce Hernandez, former Assistant District Engineer John Michael Ramos, Construction Section Chief, Planning and Design Section Chief Ernesto Galang, and 15 other individuals. Also charged were several government contractors, among them Zara Dizcaya of St. Timothy Construction, Maria Angeline Rimando of St. Timothy Construction and Corporation, Sally Santos of SYMS Construction Trading, Mark Alan Arevalo of Wow Builders, and Roberto Imperio of IM Construction Corporation. This is KRIZZA Lopez for Eurotv News.
The remains of the Filipino seafarer who died following a Houthi militant attack on the Dutch flag cargo vessel MV Minerva Grack in the Gulf of Aden has arrived in the country. The seafarer, who sustained severe injuries during the September 29 attack, was declared dead on October 8. More from this report. The remains of the Filipino seafarer who died in the attack by Houthi militants on the Dutch flag cargo vessel MV Minerva Grack in the Gulf of Aden on September 29 have arrived in the country. The Filipino who sustained serious injury in the attack was reported died on October 8th. His family members welcomed his remains in Pasay City on Sunday. Representatives of the Department of Migrant Workers, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, and the Manning Agency also welcomed the remains of the Filipino seafarer as a sign of solidarity with the family and to pay their respects to the OFW. According to the relatives of the deceased Filipino, his remains will be taken to Iligan City, his wife's hometown, before being taken to his home province in Zamboanga del Sur. The 10 crew members of the MV Minerva Grack were previously repatriated on October 4. The DMW prohibits licensed mining agencies and their principals or ship owners from sailing through considered a high-risk areas such as the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden due to the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. This is to protect the safety and welfare of Filipino crew members. This is ALVIN PELOBELLO for Eurotv News.
The Department of Interior and Local Government or DILG has shown the regular detention facility where the officials and other individuals involved in the flood control scandal will be held. According to the DILG, almost 200 persons can be detained in the new facility. Mia Layagin tells us more.
The new Quezon City Jail expressed 100% facility preparedness for possible indictments of individuals tied with the flood control corruption scandal. Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary John Vic Remulla and the Bureau of Jail Management and Penology led the inspection of the facilities on Monday, noting that this is the nearest detention facility with Sandigan Bayan that will hold the court proceedings. Remulla clarified that while the decision on detention remains under the power of the court, New QC Jail and BJMP is ready to accommodate indictees. Remulla emphasized that there will be no special treatment for the individuals accused, even if they are high-ranking government officials.
The rules of the jail will apply to the rich and to the poor the same. Ang inahanda po namin ay regular jail cell. Kung ang nagnanakaw ng 100 piso sa SM, nagnanakaw at nag-shoplift ng lotion, ay dito kinukulong. Yung nagnanakaw ng bilyon-bilyon, ay sa aking palagay ay dapat dito na rin sila ilagay.
80 dormitories were allocated in the flood control wing with 5 double bunk beds per cell to accommodate 10 individuals per room. Each cell has one toilet and one shower room, purified drinking water, and an exercise area. Except Mondays and Fridays, detainees can be brought cooked food. Gadgets are not allowed and cubicles for private sessions with lawyers are also available.
Itong facility na ito?
Yes, 100% ready. Pati ang medical care facility, pati ang conference room for lawyers, pati ang ambulances, pati ang vehicles to transport them back and forth, 100% ready.
Remulla noted that these facilities are only for detention during court hearings and individuals will be put under maximum security if convicted. He also revealed that about 200 individuals are anticipated to be indicted in the coming weeks. This is Mia Layagin for Eurotv News.
The Philippine Coast Guard will be on heightened alert from October 30 to November 4 in preparation for the nationwide observance of the UNDAS. The PCG will intensify port monitoring, assist passengers through the OTR Malasakit help desks, and deploy medical, canine, and rescue units to ensure the safe and secure travel across the country. Henry Nicolas with the details.
The Philippine Coast Guard and its operating units to be on heightened alert from October 30 to November 4, 2025 in preparation for the observance of UNDAS nationwide. According to PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Hilgavan, PCG district stations and substations will intensify monitoring and assistance operations in all ports and waterways across the country in compliance with the directive of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. for the PCG to ensure the safety, security, and comfort of the riding public. In partnership with the Department of Transportation, Philippine Ports Authority, and Maritime Industry Authority, the PCG will man the OTR Malasakit help desk at major ports, harbors, and public transport hubs nationwide. These help desks will provide passengers with immediate assistance, travel information, and emergency response services. Coast Guard medical teams will also be deployed to augment the DOTR Malasakit help desk, ensuring on-site medical assistance for sea travelers. To intensify security measures, Coast Guard canine units will conduct through vessel and baggage inspections in maritime transport facilities. Furthermore, Coast Guard rescuers and lifeguards will be strategically stationed at beaches, island resorts, and other coastal tourist destinations to safeguard vacationing families and tourists. The PCG continuously reminds the public to remain vigilant, follow safety protocols, and cooperate with local authorities to ensure a safe and secure travel experience during UNDAS 2025. This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
While All Saints' Day looms near, the local government of San Juan has been preparing for the influx of visitors to its barrio cemeteries. Mayor Francis Zamora, in coordination with the PNP San Juan, is expecting 40,000 visitors on November 1st. More from Vanessa Cleofas.
San Juan City expects an increase in the number of people visiting cemeteries within its jurisdiction starting October 25 as part of their preparations for All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Today, San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora conducted an inspection at the St. John Memorial Park, one of the city's 3 cemeteries, as part of their preparation for the expected influx of people visiting at the cemeteries. The inspection is part of San Juan City's Oplan Undas aimed at identifying areas that still need improvement and support from the city before November 1. According to the mayor, they are thoroughly preparing in coordination with the San Juan City PNP as thousands of individuals and families are expected to visit this year, similar to 2024 when attendance reached up to 40,000 people. At the same time, Mayor Zamora announced that visiting hours at San Juan Cemetery will be from 6 a.m. to 12 midnight.
Isang linggo. In fact, starting October 25 up to November 2 ay magiging 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. na po ang operating hours ng ating San Juan Cemetery. At noong November 1 last year nga po ay 28,000 ang naitala nating dumalaw sa loob lamang ng isang araw. At sa kabuuan po ng UNDAS 2024 ay 40,000 po ang naitalang dumalaw po. So yan po ay napakaraming tao sa loob po ng ilang araw lamang. Kaya dapat talaga ay meron tayong ganito mga preparasyon pagdating sa panahon ng UNDAS upang mapanatiling natin ang katahimikan at kaayos.
Ito po, meron na po kami tinatawag na security deployment. Mag-start po kami ng ito po 25 October 25 hanggang November 2. So maglalagay po tayo ng Police Assistance Desk, katulong po natin yung administration ng cemetery, IPMO, saka po yung public safety order po natin para po mapanatili natin ang katimikan dito po sa mga cemetery po sa around 150 yung initial po namin. Yung talagang dedicated lang po para dito sa Undas.
Colonel Gantang stated that their preparations and reminders for the public remain the same this year, especially since no untoward incidents were reported in previous Undas observance.
Wala naman po masyadong pagkakaiba dahil relatively peaceful naman talaga sa San Juan. According to sa staff ko, wala naman po tayong recorded incident last sa mga previous pa na Undas natin. Pero
historically, we have never had any security or peace and order concerns sa ating San Juan City Cemetery. Kaya nga po, taon-taon natin itong ginagawa, ang ganitong inspection before yung actual Undas season to ensure na yung protocols ay nasusunod.
Meanwhile, the city reiterated the prohibited items within cemeteries that include sharp objects, alcoholic beverages, and items that produce loud noise. Street vendors without permits and any form of gambling are also not allowed inside cemetery grounds. Despite the reported rise in flu-like illness, San Juan City clarified that it will not impose a mandatory face mask policy for cemetery visitors. Instead, it will be voluntary for them to wear masks or not. However, Mayor Zamora emphasized that the city is ready to implement stricter health measures if a directive comes from the national government.
Wala naman tayong sinasabing bawal magsuot ng face masks. No? It is really up to them if they feel that they are at risk when it comes to their health. Option naman po nila. Ngunit yung sabi mong mandatory pagsuot ng face mask, sa ngayon, wala naman pong ganong policy. But just in case, if the national government will inform us that we have to enforce such a measure, and then that's the only time we will do that. Pero sa ngayon po, wala pa naman anumang directive po from the DOH.
As for traffic management, the mayor also shared the city is coordinating with Quezon City, which shares a boundary with San Juan, and additional traffic enforcers will be deployed. They also implement rerouting scheme and one-way along Boni Serrano Avenue fronting the San Juan Cemetery. This is Vanessa Cleofas for Eurotv News.
Citing the road rage incident in Silang, Cavite, the Land Transportation Office has imposed a 90-day suspension on the driver's license of the SUV driver who beat up the bus driver. Henry Nicolas has more.
Another road rage incident has been recorded involving a pickup driver and a passenger bus in Silang, Cavite. In the video during the incident, the bus driver who was seen being beaten by a businessman which wearing the black t-shirt. The incident has reached the Department of Transportation, and the license of the assailant, identified as Arnie Jose Montes, has been suspended for 90 days. According to the report from the Silang Municipal Police Station, the Toyota Hilux driven by Montes and the Public Utility Bus or PUB collided. The Land Transportation Office or LTO summoned the driver to explain why he should not be charged with reckless driving and have his license cancelled. Acting Transportation Secretary Giovanni Lopez stressed that abusive drivers have no place on the road. Meanwhile, according to PNP Public Information Chief Brigadier General Randolph Tuanio, the bus driver will no longer file a case and has already forgiven Montes. This is Henry Nicolas for Eurotv News.
Due to a series of powerful earthquakes that may trigger bigger faults, the local government of Marikina conducted an earthquake drill in preparation for the big one. More details from Catherine Landicho.
Marikina City Mayor Maan Teodoro led the inspections of the disaster response equipment in preparations for the possible search and rescue operations in the event of the feared Big One earthquake. Following the city's weekly flag-raising ceremony at the City Hall, Mayor Teodoro personally inspected various emergency response tools, including a vibroscope, a device capable of detecting vibrations, to locate victims trapped under the debris. An earthquake drill was also conducted to train residents of Marikina on a proper response procedures during a major earthquake.
Higit pa sa kagamitan, mas mahalaga ang kaalaman at kahandaan ng isip at katawan. I think we can all agree, knowing what to do during an earthquake is more essential than anything else.
The drill features simulated scenarios such as rescuing individuals trapped under the collapsed structures and administering first aid to those injured during the quake. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
Due to the alarming cases of flu-like illnesses, Quezon Province has implemented mandatory face mask use, both indoors and outdoors, to prevent the further spread of the virus. Vanessa Cleophas returns.
Quezon Province is now expressing concern over the slight increase in cases of influenza-like illness or ILI, which primarily presents with symptoms such as fever, cough, colds, sore throat, body aches, and extreme fatigue. Because of this, the Quezon Provincial Health Office immediately enforced through Executive Order No. DHT-60 the mandatory wearing of face masks in all indoor setting and outdoor areas throughout the province, wherein physical distancing is often not observed. According to the provincial government, this is their way of preventing further transmission among individuals already experiencing symptoms, especially now that the weather is unpredictable and public places are becoming increasingly crowded. The Department of Health or DOH supports the provincial order, stating that local governments have the authority to implement provisions suited to the specific public health needs of their area. However, the DOH emphasized that there is no outbreak of flu-like illness in the country and no unusual or new strain of virus is currently spreading. They also sought to ease public concern following Quezon Province's preventive measures. According to a study by the DOH Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, the flu season in the Philippines typically runs from June to November, so it is considered normal for flu cases to rise during this period. Meanwhile, in the latest report from the DOH, cases of ILI decreased by 39% from 6,457 cases recorded between September 28 and October 11 compared to 10,740 cases reported between September 14 and October 27. These numbers are also considered low compared to figures from 2024. This is Vanessa Cleophas for Eurotv News.
Governor Noel Rosal has been appointed as the chairman of the Regional Development Council for Region 5. Catherine Landicho returns with the report.
President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. has appointed Albay Governor Noel Ibriega Rosal as the chairman of the Regional Development Council or RDC for Region 5. It is under the Department of Economy, Planning and Development. Governor Rosal will serve a 3-year term as RDC chair concurrent with his tenure as provincial governor of Albay. As the new head of RDC Region 5, Rosal is expected to lead the formulations and implementations of the development programs and projects in the region in coordinations with the various government agencies and sectors of society. Rosal is a Filipino businessman and politician who is the 27th governor of Albay since 2025. He previously served as the governor of Albay in 2022 and as mayor of Legazpi from 2001 to 2010 and again from 2013 to 2022. This is Catherine Landicho for Eurotv News.
Authorities arrested several most wanted person and other suspects in separate police operations across Bulacan on Sunday, October 19. Among those captured are facing drugs and assault cases. Shai Morales tells us more.
Several most wanted persons and other suspects in separate operations were arrested by authorities on Sunday, October 19. In Hagonoy, authorities captured alias Rick, the town's top 4 most wanted person for murder. No bail was recommended for his case. In Kalumpit, alias Mon, the top 10 most wanted person, was arrested for sexual assault and violation of Republic Act 7610, otherwise known as the Special Protection of Children Against Abuse, Exploitation, and Discrimination Act, with a total bail of 160,000 pesos. Meanwhile, in Marilao, alias Mel, a 33-year-old driver in the town's top 6 most wanted, was apprehended for rape by sexual assault with a bail set at 120,000 pesos. 2 other suspects were also arrested in Bulacan and Santa Maria. One of the suspects, identified as alias Chito, was nabbed for direct assault after allegedly attacking a barangay tanod during a foot patrol. The other suspect, identified as alias John from Tondo, Manila, was caught with 4 sachets of suspected shabu. All suspects are now under police custody along with confiscated evidences in separate crime scenes. This is Shai Morales reporting for Eurotv News.
Amidst the agreed-upon ceasefire between Hamas and Israel, the two sides traded attacks after the latter targeted Gaza. Son Santiago with the report.
The fragile ceasefire, which began October 10 between Israel and Hamas in Gaza, is under threat again after deadly attacks from both sides shook the truce. The firing left at least 26 Palestinians and 2 Israeli soldiers dead, marking the most serious test yet to the peace deal brokered by the United States. Israel launched a wave of airstrikes across the enclave on Sunday. The Israel Defense Forces said the strikes were retaliation for an earlier anti-tank missile attack from Rafah in southern Gaza that killed 2 of its soldiers. Hamas denied involvement, saying it remains committed to the truce and has had no contact with militant groups in Rafah months ago. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said that they only targeted Hamas field commanders, tunnels, and weapons depots. On the other hand, U.S. President Donald Trump clarified the agreement remains in place, but admitted it's unclear who started the latest clashes. In other developments, Israel resumed deploying aid deliveries in Gaza after the U.S. pressured them. It can be recalled Israel said it will keep the Rafah border crossing clause, blocking humanitarian aid from entering Gaza until Hamas fulfills its ceasefire obligations, including handing over the remaining bodies of deceased hostages.
Unfortunately, fearing of ceasefire may collapse, some families in Gaza have begun fleeing their homes again. This is Son Santiago for Eurotv News.
Two-time Olympic gold medalist Carlos Yulo will skip the 2025 SEA Games, giving a chance to other talented Filipino gymnasts. Kyle Basa has the sports news.
The Olympic medalist Filipino gymnast star Carlos Yulo will skip the Southeast Asian Games 2025 that will be held in Thailand. It was confirmed by the president of the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines, Cynthia Carrion. His reason is to give his teammates an opportunity to represent the country. Yulo decided to step back in the competition when the SEA Games limited the players that participated in just one apparatus in the event. With that, the young promising Filipino gymnasts, including Juancho Miguel Besana, John Ivan Cruz, and Justin Ace de Leon will represent the country in the SEA Games. Carlos Yulo put up a great performance in the 2025 Artistic Gymnastics World Championship at Jakarta, India this Monday. He is in Subdivision 6, wherein he is with other gymnasts representing their own country, including Morocco, Thailand, Mexico, Singapore, Canada, Colombia, Qatar, Sweden, Luxembourg, and Albania. He leads the vault as his average score is 14.750, while he is on the second spot on the floor exercise in which he averages 14.566. With that, he will advance to the vault and floor exercise finals. The men's floor exercise final will be held on October 24, Friday, while the men's vault final on Saturday, October 25. This is Kyle Basa, reporting for Eurotv News.
Lee Chemin, the star of Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, is said to visit his fans in the Philippines for a fan meeting event. More details from Sam Martos.
Let's step into the world of entertainment for our showbiz news. South Korean actor Lee Jae-min will visit the country for his upcoming fan meeting titled Jae-min to You. South Korean actor Lee Jae-min will be visiting the country for a fan meeting titled Jae-min to You. In a social media post by his agency, they give a sneak peek of the actor's preparations for his Filipino fans, showing him rehearsing a song and playing the piano, with the caption, "Soon you'll hear the whole song." It can be recalled that the actor recently starred in one of the Netflix hit series Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. Aside from the Manila, he will also be visiting Seoul, Jakarta, Bangkok, Hong Kong, Taipei, and Tokyo. Meanwhile, the Chame Into You Pan Meet will take place on November 23, 2025 at the New Frontier Theater in Quezon City. And that's our entertainment news. Once again, I'm Sam Martos. Back to you, Alvin and KRIZZA.
And that's the latest news for tonight. You may visit Eurotvphilippines.com for more news and information. Once again, I am KRIZZA Lopez.
You can also catch our live broadcast through our social media accounts and via Pinoy Stream channel. I am ALVIN PELOBELLO. Thanks for joining us. This is Eurotv News Thread. Stay safe and have a good night, everyone. What was that? Oh,